God says, "Beloved soul, there are moments in life when you look back and begin to understand that certain things happen not by accident but by quiet guidance. There were people who entered your life for a time, conversations that appeared meaningful, and situations that seemed important at the moment. Yet with time you may have noticed that some of those connections slowly faded away or moved in a different direction. What once felt confusing may now begin to make sense." God says sometimes protection does not appear as a dramatic sign or a loud warning. Instead, it appears through small changes in circumstances. A conversation ends sooner than expected. A relationship naturally moves apart. A situation that once seemed certain quietly changes course. In those moments you may wonder why things unfolded that way, yet later you begin to realize that those shifts may have helped guide you toward a healthier and more peaceful path. Beloved soul, many people assume that protection must always appear through obvious signs. But often the most powerful form of guidance comes through gentle redirection. When life moves you away from certain situations or people, it is sometimes creating space for something better to enter your life. God says that every person you meet becomes part of your journey in some way. Some people appear to teach important lessons, while others appear to support and encourage you. Both experiences contribute to your growth. Even the connections that do not last forever can still bring valuable understanding. Beloved soul, when you trust that your life is guided by wisdom and purpose, you begin to see these moments differently. Instead of feeling confusion about why certain paths closed, you begin to see them as part of the natural flow of your journey. God says that protection often arrives quietly. It does not need to create fear or urgency. Instead, it simply guides you toward environments, opportunities, and relationships that support your well-being and growth. Beloved soul, the message today is not meant to create worry about the past. Instead, it is meant to remind you that you are not walking your path alone. Life has a way of gently redirecting you whenever something does not align with your highest good. God says that as your journey continues, new connections and opportunities will appear that better match the person you are becoming. The experiences you have lived through have already helped shape your understanding and strengthen your ability to recognize what truly belongs in your life. Beloved soul, trust that the path ahead is still unfolding. The redirections you experienced were not meant to confuse you, they were guiding you toward peace, growth, and a future that aligns with your purpose. God says, "Beloved soul, there are moments in life when you suddenly notice that certain people slowly move away from your path. At first this change may feel confusing, because there was a time when those connections seemed meaningful or important. You may remember conversations that felt sincere, plans that once felt possible, or moments when you believed those relationships would always remain close. Yet as time passed, something quietly shifted. The distance grew, the connection became less clear, and eventually life began moving in a different direction. God says many people experience this kind of change and wonder why it happened. They may replay memories in their mind, trying to understand what went wrong or what they could have done differently. Yet sometimes the truth is much simpler. Not every person who enters your life is meant to walk beside you forever. Some people appear for a season, bringing lessons that help you grow before your journey continues forward. Beloved soul, when life gently guides someone out of your path, it is not always a loss. Sometimes it is a quiet form of protection and preparation. Certain relationships may teach you about trust, communication, and understanding. Even if those connections do not remain forever, the wisdom they bring stays with you and helps you move forward with greater clarity. God says that growth often changes the direction of relationships. As you gain new experiences and develop new perspectives, your path naturally begins to align with people who share similar values and goals. This does not mean that past connections were meaningless. It simply means that your journey continues evolving. Beloved soul, think about the ways you have changed over time. The person you are today carries more experience, more awareness, and more understanding than the person you were years ago. Those changes influence the relationships that feel right for you now. God says that sometimes distance appears between people because their paths are moving in different directions. While this may feel difficult at first, it often creates space for new connections that support your growth and bring encouragement into your life. Beloved soul, the redirection you experienced may have been guiding you toward healthier relationships and environments. When one door quietly closes, it often allows another door to open, one that leads to opportunities better aligned with your journey. God says that trusting these moments of change helps you move forward with peace rather than regret. Instead of focusing on what ended, you begin to appreciate what you learned from those experiences. Each lesson becomes part of the wisdom that guides your future decisions. Beloved soul, the people who truly belong in your life will naturally support your growth and encourage the best version of who you are becoming. They will appreciate your presence and share moments that bring positivity and understanding. God says that as your journey continues, you will meet individuals who connect with you in meaningful ways. These relationships may bring encouragement, shared purpose, and a sense of belonging that feels genuine and lasting. Beloved soul, the message today is not about looking back with worry. Instead, it is about recognizing that life sometimes redirects your path in order to lead you toward better experiences and stronger connections. God says that every step of your journey carries purpose. The lessons from past relationships remain valuable, even if those people are no longer walking beside you. They help shape the perspective you carry today. Beloved soul, trust that the path ahead continues unfolding in a way that supports your well-being and growth. The space created by past changes may soon be filled with connections and opportunities that feel more aligned with your life. God says, beloved soul, whenever life creates distance between you and someone who once walked closely beside you, it also creates space for something new to enter your journey. At first, that space may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable. You might wonder why things changed and what the future will look like without that connection. Yet time often reveals that the space created by those changes was necessary for the next chapter of your life to begin unfolding. God says that every stage of life introduces you to people who reflect where you are on your path at that moment. Some individuals appear when you are learning important lessons, helping you understand more about trust, patience, and communication. Others arrive when you are ready to move forward into a season of growth, bringing encouragement and support that feels natural and uplifting. Beloved soul, when life gently guides someone away from your path, it often prepares you to recognize the relationships that truly belong in your future. The experiences you have gathered through the years shape your ability to understand what kind of connection brings peace and what kind of connection feels misaligned with your values. God says that meaningful relationships often appear when you are focused on living with authenticity and purpose. When you pursue growth, kindness, and understanding in your own life, you naturally attract people who carry similar intentions. These connections may begin quietly, through simple conversations or shared interests, yet over time they can grow into friendships and partnerships that feel supportive and genuine. Beloved soul, new connections rarely appear in dramatic ways. Sometimes they begin with a small moment of kindness, a conversation that feels unexpectedly comfortable, or a shared experience that allows two people to understand each other more deeply. These simple beginnings often become the foundation for relationships that bring positivity and encouragement into your life. God says that when your journey continues forward, you will begin to notice how your perspective has changed compared to the past. You may recognize qualities in others that you once overlooked, or you may value honesty, compassion, and respect more deeply than before. These changes reflect the wisdom you gained through previous experiences. Beloved soul, the people who truly belong in your life will not create confusion about your worth or your direction. Instead, they will support your growth and celebrate the person you are becoming. Their presence will bring a sense of calm rather than uncertainty, and their encouragement will help you continue moving forward with confidence. God says that every connection you form in the future will carry the lessons of your past. The understanding you gain from earlier experiences allows you to build relationships with greater awareness and sincerity. In this way, even the connections that ended played a valuable role in preparing you for what lies ahead. Beloved soul, it is important to remember that life is not a single moment but a continuous journey of growth. Each stage introduces new opportunities for learning, new people who share your path, and new experiences that deepen your understanding of yourself and others. God says that trusting the unfolding of your journey means allowing these new connections to develop naturally. You do not need to rush or force anything. When you remain open to kindness and genuine conversation, the relationships that truly belong in your life will gradually reveal themselves. Beloved soul, the changes you experienced earlier were not meant to leave emptiness behind. Instead, they created space for relationships that reflect your present values and your future direction. The lessons you carried forward now help you recognize connections that feel meaningful and supportive. God says that the next chapter of your life may introduce people who inspire you to continue growing, people who share your vision for the future, and people who remind you that companionship can bring strength and encouragement. Beloved soul, as you continue moving forward, remain open to the possibility that the relationships ahead may be more aligned with your purpose than those you left behind. Each new connection holds the potential to bring understanding, friendship, and shared experiences that enrich your journey. God says, beloved soul, as your life continues moving forward, there will come a moment when you begin to understand the deeper purpose behind the changes you once questioned. At one time you may have looked at certain situations or relationships and wondered why they slowly faded away. You may have asked yourself why things did not continue the way you once expected. Yet time has a way of bringing clarity. When you look back with a calm heart, you begin to see how those moments of redirection helped guide you toward a path that brings greater peace and understanding. God says that life rarely moves in straight lines. Instead, it flows like a journey with many turns, pauses, and new directions. Each of those changes contributes something valuable to your growth. Even the moments that once felt uncertain eventually reveal lessons that strengthen your awareness and help you recognize what truly belongs in your life. Beloved soul, the protection mentioned in this message does not appear as something dramatic or overwhelming. Instead, it appears through quiet guidance. Sometimes it comes through the natural distance that develops between people. Sometimes it comes through new opportunities that lead you toward environments where you feel more comfortable and understood. And sometimes it appears as a simple realization within your heart that certain paths are no longer meant for you. God says that trusting this guidance allows you to move forward with confidence rather than regret. When you accept that your journey is unfolding step by step, you begin to appreciate the way each experience contributes to your understanding of yourself and the world around you. Beloved soul, the relationships and experiences that remain in your life now are the ones that align with the person you have become. The lessons of the past help shape your perspective, teaching you what kind of connections bring peace, respect, and encouragement. God says that as your path continues, you will naturally be drawn toward people who share similar values and intentions. These connections may grow gradually, through moments of shared understanding and mutual support. Over time they create a sense of belonging that feels stable and genuine. Beloved soul, the purpose of this message is not to focus on the past but to help you recognize the wisdom that came from it. The experiences you once questioned are now part of the strength you carry within yourself. They prepared you to make decisions with greater clarity and to appreciate the relationships that truly enrich your life. God says that every person's journey contains moments of redirection. These moments are not meant to create confusion but to guide you toward environments where your growth and well-being are supported. When you trust that process, you begin to move forward with a calm sense of confidence. Beloved soul, the future ahead of you still holds many opportunities for meaningful experiences. Each new day carries the possibility of connection, understanding, and personal growth. When you approach these moments with openness and gratitude, you create space for positive experiences to appear naturally. God says that peace often arrives when you stop questioning every change and instead allow yourself to trust the direction your life is taking. This trust does not require knowing every detail of the future. It simply means believing that your journey continues to move toward experiences that help you grow. Beloved soul, take a quiet moment to recognize how far you have already come. The challenges you faced strengthened your resilience. The changes you experienced helped clarify your values. And the lessons you gathered prepared you to walk forward with greater understanding. God says that your path is still unfolding, and each new chapter will bring opportunities to deepen your sense of purpose and connection. The guidance you experienced along the way has helped shape a future that reflects the person you have become. Beloved soul, trust that the journey ahead will continue revealing moments of peace, meaningful relationships, and opportunities that align with your growth. What once felt uncertain has quietly guided you toward a direction that supports your well-being and your future. If this message resonated with your heart, Type Amen in the comments and share this message with someone who may need encouragement today.